Hey, I'm glad you returned to 5-minute meditations on the Sermon on the Mount with my book, What on Earth, considering the social implications of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. This video is going to be a little bit different in that I'm going to get a little bit more personal. Don't worry, it's not personal about you, but about me. Many of you know that I'm battling bone cancer for the second time. And I'm feeling pretty good so far, and in addition to a lot of prayer, I'm being seen by two, uber qualified doctors and doing most of what they prescribe. But here's how it relates to this book and future ones that I have in my heart. In fact, I have 5 other books that I'd really like to write and publish before I go to be with Jesus. Do you mind if I tell you about them? The one I'm working on now is a journey through chapter 10 in Luke's Gospel. It's a study of the 3 stories in that chapter that add up to what I consider to be a balanced Christian life. I call it the Missional, Merciful, Worshipful Christian. After that, I'd really like to finish a manuscript that I've started on the book of James. I call that one James on Justice, an appeal for Classless Christianity. I was surprised a few years ago by the continuity in the book of James, regarding classism and a bunch of other isms that we face today in the church. I also have a partially finished manuscript on Peter's first letter called How to Live Away from Home. And it's a trek through the letter of 1 Peter, highlighting the theme of Christians in exile. After that, I'm hoping to publish one on Paul's second letter to Timothy in the New Testament. It's called Advice from an Older Brother. This one is for spiritual leaders and aspiring leaders. In it, I concoct a semi-fictional group of young leaders and the conversations we have together over the text of 2 Timothy. And lastly, I started a book over 30 years ago called The River. And it follows steps toward God, who is represented by, you guessed it, a river. And all these different steps. Some are calloused about God, the river. There is no God. Others are curious. Some are convinced. Some become converted. Others get committed after their conversion. But finally, I say that the goal is to enter into communion with God. It's really a book about intimacy with God. All that said, I've been asking the Lord either to make me a better writer or to give me more years to write. And I mention it in order to ask you if you care to join me in that prayer. In the meantime, I encourage you to read, and apply this current book on the Sermon on the Mount. And also, would you please write a review on Amazon and share it on your social media platforms. And if you're in a book club or a book study group, think about using this book next. And if you have 6 or more members, I'll give each one in the group $5 discount on the purchase. So thanks for watching, and thanks for your prayers. Talk soon.